Look at that, baby. We're on time.
I
8:01.
like the intro.
I'm gonna work on some other ones. Get some cool shit going, right?
Hey, the intro's mint. I
Yeah,
like it.
thanks, boss. So I forget whose music that is too. I totally forget. It's just in
Yes,
like loop of music that I've got that I can put on there now. So it's someone's music. But well, yeah, man. Welcome to the Boneyard. Here we are on fucking Wednesday, 8 o'clock, sitting down
I
with.
think this is the first. I think this is the first time you had me on officially.
I think you're right too, man. Because we did the one in Thunder Bay, we just walked around and held the camera, and
Right.
then you jumped in on a few where we had a lot of guests on that night. So you're right. This will be the first sit down with just the two of us for sure.
Yeah.
So while we're here, introduce yourself, brother.
My name is Devin Cox, 33-year-old male from Sudbury, Ontario. Fortunate Losers singer frontman.
Yeah. So you guys just got back from a bit of a tour, man. How was that?
It's just a weekend warrior thing out in Ottawa and Montreal
Yeah.
with a promoter called Pandemonium. Their company called Pandemonium. They just reached out to us again. They're going to have us back for their festival there in July, I think.
Oh, that's awesome, brother.
Maybe August. I don't have the date there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, that's excellent, man. So the tour went over good. I know I couldn't make it. I ended up Mikey went instead of me there, but because I couldn't make it, I was doing that other. I think I was up in Niagara that weekend.
Yeah, both nights were fucking freezing. Like, yeah, the drive to Ottawa, Montreal isn't bad. We decided actually to do the Ottawa show, and because no one would put us up, and we didn't want to spend the money on a hotel in Ottawa, we ended up taking the drive to Montreal that night, right?
Oh, so you just did a turn and burn?
Well, yeah, we played in Ottawa, and
Yeah.
then we decided after the show, because we always stay and watch all the bands. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand bands that walk out halfway through the night when they're done playing. I don't get that mentality, but we watched all the bands anyways. We had a couple of drinks with the promoter and the people that stuck around,
Yeah.
and we ended up making the decision to drive to Montreal that night. We got it in at like 3:30 or something.
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you mean. Like every time Late Night Trouble plays with us up here, they usually do the turn and burn, but they still hang out, watch all the bands, stay afterwards, have a few drinks with everyone, and then they take off. Even though they, 7-hour drive, it's just a respect thing for the festival and for the bands you play with.
Yeah, I never really did understand when a band would play. Unless of course that band's on like a strict schedule and they're on tour and they're like, fuck, we got to get in that town, like we've got hours to spare and it's a hell of a drive. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see like a couple of bands that'll play before you. Like Toronto's the worst for this. They'll play and then they're like, see you later.
Yeah, I'm going to the bar.
Once they're done.
They're out like.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Who all did you get to play with, man? You were on with a couple of good bands there, so might as well give them a big old shout out.
Shit, man, you put me on the spot.
I know. I should know it too. I followed the tour, commented on all the photos. Like I should.
You know what? There's one band that comes to mind. We played with a band that's been at it for a long time in Montreal called Paradise, and those boys they're sick. They're all older than us, but they are great. Yeah. Well, they're definitely worth a check out for sure.
Yeah, you guys are pretty young in the music scene, though. Like I know you paid your dues for most part, but yeah, a lot of the bands I get, they're all my age or older, like 10, 15 years older than you guys are, right? But you guys have made quite the splash for being around for a few years. You guys have been on tour and opened for some pretty big bands over the years.
Yeah, it's coming around again. It comes in waves. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people got to understand is you got to take the good with the bad. There's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of good too, right? Like, I mean, fuck, we've been on hiatus here for a little while here, going through musicians and shit like that. I just watched the other day this documentary on I don't know if you ever seen Count Me In. Have you ever seen that documentary with the drummers?
No, I'll definitely check it out though.
It's cool. I was over at Mike's for a drink last night, and Mike showed me this Count Me In, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Motley Crue didn't have what's his name there behind the kit?
Oh,
Tommy Lee, I guess. And they got another person to sub in for like 6 months. I mean, this is the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sink or swim, baby.
Yeah, it's so true though. Like even to say lose a valued member like your drummer or bass, and then like, continue to push on. Like I know you guys have had all the time the last little bit. I know quite a few other bands that have all of a sudden new members and this changed and that changed. And, buddies of mine in Cauterize, actually, they got a new guitar player. This is going back a year or so now. We were talking about it live on air. They said after the show, the guy did something extremely rude. He walked over. They ended up punching him out, and he was out of the band looking for a new guitar player. You know what I mean? Like
hardcore.
Yeah. That's what you get. Are you for the States though? Are you guys are bound and determined you're heading to the US here sometime soon, right?
Yeah, a guy reached out to me the other day. He wants to help us book. Other than like I talked to you about this band called In the Whale that was on our record label for a while, the same record label we were on. They're still hopefully shout out to those guys. If you haven't checked out In the Whale, do it. They're awesome. Two-piece out of Colorado. Yeah, we're supposed to do some dates with them, hopefully, and then in exchange, they'll do some dates in Canada at this Southern Ontario with us. But this one guy reached out to me recently, and he's definitely working with a couple of bands in the States, and he said, "Well, is it worth coming down to the States because it's a bunch of bullshit getting across the border?" And I said, "Listen, if we're gonna go across for 1 date or 10 dates, it's the same amount of bullshit. It doesn't matter. We still got to jump through hoops and go through red tape." So
I know it's almost impossible to get across with all your gear and stuff. Like setting up that show in Maine and trying to get a couple others set up, man, that's crazy. Like it's a fucking pain in the ass, you know. And then sometimes you get bands won't share stuff, you know what I mean? So you know, obviously you know. Your guitar is your guitar, man. That's your baby, you know. Or this mic is my favorite mic. No one else uses it. You know, I know quite a few people are like that. And their drums. Drums is another big thing. People don't like to share either. So, like to go down, you'd almost have to rent all your shit, or like you said, go through the hoops and fucking go through all the fucking custom shit. Now you got to pay taxes on your merch, and then you got to claim all the money you apparently made on this tour that probably paid for your food and your room. You know? Like
that's right. And you know what? My advice to anybody going to do that or anyone jumping into it, even myself, it's just if you're going to do it, I've been told if you're going to fucking do that, do it. Do it legit, because if you get caught on the other side of things, like doing it kind of shady, they like ban you.
Yeah, no, I know. Like now all of a sudden your band's not even allowed to play in the US or Canada, depending on where you're coming from, right? Like
so
I know here, like for the ones we do, we have a house band, like the house set of drums. You can bring your own kit, but there is one there that everyone's welcome to use and stuff. I usually bring my amps, so you know people aren't driving, because not everyone has a tour bus. I know you're almost there, baby.
Real close, baby. One shower and some undercarriages away.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been an honor working on that thing, though.
Hey, man, we'll celebrate it there for your thing there. I'm just working on some songs to put together for your show there.
Yeah, the one in August.
Dundalk.
Yeah. So that's pretty sick. I'm happy to have you there in August, man. That'll be good. You'll be playing with Electric Dead.
Sweet.
And then
I'll put together a nice. I don't know how many songs you want me to do, but I'll put together a nice set.
We usually give the artist anywhere between an hour and less. You know, depending on if the crowd wants you to do an encore, we're not going to shut you down. Come on, do another song, you know. And but it's up to you. We let you guys pick. So, you know, if you only got a half an hour, 40-minute set, all you got to do is tell us, and then we'll arrange everything else around that. You know what I mean? So. Sorry, man. I'm just fucking burning one here. So, you guys do a lot of your touring in the winter, though.
Yeah, that's because of my work schedule, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you work just as much as me, man. It's crazy. You actually work more than me. You do a lot of the paperwork and shit and all that, right?
Yeah. When you work for the family, you can't just turn it off, right? Like you
No.
get home and my old man will call me at 8 o'clock or something, and
Yeah.
it's like fuck. Now I got to do 2 hours of paperwork after my 8 hours, right?
No, right? I know, because up in Thunder Bay there, when I was still with the other company there, I didn't have to write shit down. I just start drinking right away, right? The time you come out to have drinks with us, everyone's so hammered. No doubt, I wouldn't hang around with all them drunk people either, you know. But
It's just something I've learned. It's like you can put a couple of days on the back burner, but not too many, because then you'll get it all fucked up.
yeah,
Right?
so yeah, Corey here from Everfelt. They're the ones I'm heading down. I sent you my request for time off. That's with those guys, but there'll be a band you want to look into, man. They're right up there with the same kind of style and playlist.
Oh, nice.
On maybe doing a double border, like getting down there with them, having them come up here, play with you guys and shit, right?
Well, I know for that Panda Fest or whatever going on in August or July or whatever.
Yeah.
We're definitely the lightest on the bill, hands down. Oh, yeah.
I know I was trying to get you guys for the October show, but yeah, you guys would have been 100% the lightest, other than Andrew, right? Because I think Andrew's going to play this year, right? So,
but it works for us because we have heavy songs and we have lighter songs, and we just write the set tailored to the
venue
festival,
or the people you were playing with. Yeah. No, you do
summertime
have
festivals. Yeah.
quite the variety, though. Compass is still one of my favorites. Your new song is pretty good, man. We should talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the new song, we got another one coming out here in April. But the new song, a lot of time and effort went into that song, man. We produced by Steve Malella at Finger 11, engineered by Darren McGill at Union Sound, and mixed and mastered by Evan Morgan. Mixed by Evan, and the mastering, I forget who mastered it, but they all did a great job. It's amazing. It's just crazy how like 6-7 months can go into a song. Some of these songs are years old now, right?
Yeah. Like you hear stories of back in the day, like Sabbath went in and 24 hours later they come out and the whole album's recorded and shit. And then you hear of like Korn working on one song for over a year. You know what I mean? It's like, is that just because of the technology and you're able to change it so much now compared to before, or is that just?
I think it has a lot to do with what you expect the end product to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a guy one time come to me and said, "Hey, I can write a song in 3 minutes." In the rock business, we've been told, and I have to agree with this, is the more time and effort you put into the song, the longer lasting it'll be for the listener. Because every time you listen to it, you pick out another favorite piece that you didn't hear the first fucking 100 times around, right?
Right.
So the depth of the song will determine the longevity of the song. And I gotta say, like for the last record that we did, all the songs, like when we did this last record, we went to the studio 4 different times and spent a week each time.
Yeah. I remember you were gone for a week and a couple times there last year over the season.
Yeah.
I do have one time. I didn't know you ended up going 3 other times into.
Yeah, 4 times total.
Yeah.
And that gives you a good, because we did 8 songs or 7 songs in the 4 times, so you're gonna get 1 to 2 songs complete, and each song gets the same amount of time and effort, right?
Yeah. No,
because if you go in and you try to do a 10, let's say for the rock business, unless you go into the studio like, this is what it sounds like, it's not changing, no one's changing shit, you're gonna go in there and hammer it down, that's different. But we did a lot of pre-production, we did a lot of how would you say, a lot of fucking around with it, a lot of experimental shit in the studio. You know, I remember Steve would say, "Oh, you guys got to go to Long McQuaid and get this and get that." And the next day it's like, "Oh, we need this and that." Like we tried a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah. No, that's good though. Like the experimentation and into bringing something new into the music all the time is always growing. I find that with the metal scene the most out of all other genres, we're always evolving and growing and becoming better and better. Where Like pop music's still the same as it always has been. Nothing has changed. It's not probably worse now than it used to be back in the day with like fucking Backstreet Boys and shit and all that. Like.
Yeah, as time goes on, I feel, and this is not a stab at anybody, but I just feel as time progresses, the music kind of, because like everything has been done before. It's just when you hear something new, it's a different rendition, different tone, different tuning of something that's already been done. Like when I listen to something that I like, I can't help but think, why do I like this? Oh, probably because I've heard it before, in some way, some capacity, right?
Yeah, I got a few songs there that I jam out, and everyone's, oh, what song's that by Tool? No, I wrote that while I was like listening for Tool for nothing but Tool for a whole year, so it's just heavily influenced by them, and they probably have it somewhere, but it's not quite the same, but it's just so recognizable, that style. Like you can't play that style without people saying that's Tool. You're ripping Tool off, but more of a tribute with that style. Like you guys have a lot. Soundgarden, obviously, Chris Cornell was a big influence on you, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are some of the other bigger influences? Because you sing and jam at the same time. That's something I've always kind of fucking eye-goggled over when people are able to do that. Because I can barely, it took me years to just be able to thrash, move my guitar, and throw it through the air and shit, let alone fucking sing and stuff, right?
Yeah, I wish I was better at like the whole stage performance thing, but you kind of gotta, like, it all comes down to hours. Like I remember my dad told me at a young age, like 10,000 hours, you pass 10,000 hours behind your instrument and your craft, and now we're talking,
Yeah.
But some of my main influence growing up, I mean, like Soundgarden, obviously, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins, Chevelle, Deftones.
Yeah. You really hear the Chevelle and Chris Cornell influence for sure in your music.
Right? I was just watching something about him last night again. So.
Yeah, he just come up on my playlist today while I was bumming around making bread and ended up making hamburger helper. So I was gonna make homemade burgers. Like, look at this, a box of hamburger helper. Dump that in there, right? Nice to cook on a stove again, man. That was cool today. Yeah. But so what's coming up in the future? I know you'll be playing one, if not maybe two of our shows this year. We're definitely 100% booked for August, right? So what else you guys got on the go for touring around and playing?
The team's working on a supporting tour right now for late summer. And it's really important with the release of the record. But a lot of stuff goes into that. I mean, who you're playing with, where you're playing, all has to kind of make sense. It's like one great big fucking deal. And if you start to cheap out on certain things, then certain things start to take a hit for them, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of thought, and you need a lot of people in the works helping that, because to do it yourself now, it's like, fuck. Like, especially when it comes to booking runs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how successful are those shows going to be exactly? Like, sure, we can book 40 dates across the country, but how much money are you going to lose? Who are you going to play for? Where are you going to play? What bands are you going to play with? All that stuff comes to, it's a grind, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that we're getting into having shows and booking shows, having bands ask us, can you get us a date for this, a date for that? It's like, fuck, I don't know. I never even asked to do it. People assume I know how to do it. So I had to fucking, like you said, put my nose to the fucking ground and do it. Right? Just to help my buddies and shit out, right? So it's been working, but I ended up having to come up with my own festivals to make it work. And that was fucking, now we're working on the big one at the end of this year. Will be deciding factor if it's going to happen next year with the big festival or not. But like you said, man, that's something you gotta fucking plan shit like that a year in advance. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's where the timeline becomes pretty intimidating, because even like when we're talking to publicists and the music professionals and stuff like that, they're like, well, fuck, you got to start planning this stuff 6 to 8 months, a year in advance. It's like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm making for dinner today.
No, right? I don't even know what time I'm getting off work today, let alone fucking.
That's where it really becomes, it's like, holy fuck. Yeah, there's a lot to this thing. It's not just.
Well,
You
it's
know,
not, yeah,
because there's
you're
a
not
difference.
just,
There's a huge difference. You got success. You got success, right? Which everyone defines success differently. Then you have
yeah,
your industry standards of success and commercial success, and any kind of stuff in and around those two last ones.
yeah,
Like you need a lot of help and a lot of
yeah.
dedication and time to go into it,
I've
right?
seen,
And also you need a lot of things to happen for you at that time.
oh yeah, yeah. You know, unless you come from money and you have your own money to invest in yourself in that sense, right? Like, but I heard or read something or something the other day, and it was like the music industry is the only fucking industry where the rent's due every day. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
it took a minute
Yeah.
for that to sink in. It's like, no, that's 100% true, man. Every day you got to be out there paying your fucking dues, making sure you're out there doing it, right? Like,
One way or another.
mm-hmm.
If it ain't money, it's time. If it ain't time, it's money and effort and hard work and sweat and blood and tears.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just think it's instant fame. Oh yeah, I wrote the song, I'm gonna be famous. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't quite work like that. Very rare, unless you're going on like those fucking stupid fucking talent shows and shit. But even then, you fade out real quick. You know what I mean? You burn up real fast. Doing that shit. Like,
well, I got a lot of people
garbage.
that say, why wouldn't you just fucking go on American Idol or something? Why wouldn't you just do that? Well, holy fuck, I never thought of that.
Right?
That's not what we're doing. That's why I like who I like and why I like, because there's a good amount of, when you listen to Soundgarden, there's a good amount of they don't give a fuck, and also people like to hear what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we like what we're doing, you like what we're doing, let's party.
Yeah, let's leave it at that, right? Like,
instead of being so worried about fucking this and that radio play, and is this booking entertainer gonna like me, or is this agent not gonna like my shit, or the record label gonna disown me because we're not sounding like the way we should. It's like, holy fuck, just leave that shit out.
Right? I guess nowadays it's a lot easier to be independent in that sense, where you can carry yourself if you're motivated and have that drive. You guys are independent still to this day, are you not?
Yeah. So we were signed with Golden Robot for the last for the EP we did before this.
Yeah.
But we parted ways shortly before this record. I mean, they did want involvement in this record, but for what they were going to give us versus what we paid into the record, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, like we're quite invested into this. And for someone to say, listen, we'll sign you and here's an X amount of dollars, it's like, wait a sec. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now you owe the money for producing the record by the time it's all said and done and shit, right? Like, there is a massive amount of money in the industry, but it all goes to fucking the greedy bastards. Like, we just dealt with this. I'm not going to call out anybody on it, but we had to shut the one event down because it was going to cost me over $5,000 to put it on, because they want a piece of this. You got to give us a piece of that and piece of this. No, man. I got bands coming from Montreal for free for us, bud. You know, you're not taking a percentage of their pay or their merch. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Doesn't work like that. And then, you know, it's just greed, man. It's fucking insane.
And don't take it personally, because these people are thinking strictly money.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. They don't care about this, and they don't care about who's playing and who's booking and what.
In the end of it all, they're a business, you know, and apparently their business already works because they're still a business, and great reviews on the place and stuff. Everyone loves going there, you know, but
between you and I and everybody else in this fucking business, if it was all about the money, we all wouldn't be doing this anymore.
No, right? Yeah. You know, like that. There's always that hope and that dream, no matter how passionate you are. You know, you got to make money at it if you're going to do it full time. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny because when I talk to musicians and people in the industry, the money topic comes up, and me myself, like I'm not saying everybody else, I'm saying myself included.
Yeah.
Money comes up right off the bat.
Yeah, instantly, eh?
And I'm trying to make it not such a big thing, but it's also it's called the music business.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So
it's actually the industry, the music industry.
That's right.
Which is different than a business. An industry has to make money. You know, if they made $5 this month and $4 next month, they lost $1. Now they're pissed. They should, you know what I mean? They don't look at it like they made $4 still. You know, like it's constant. Always has to make more and more and more and more, right? Like, but if the people are there buying your tickets, man, you know, sell out fucking Metallica style, like 500,000 people or more, you know, at some of the festivals back in the day, right? Like, what's the biggest festival you guys have played at? I know you guys have played a couple.
I think the biggest festival we played to date would probably be New Music Fest with Finger 11 back in the day.
Yeah.
It'd probably be 3,000 or 4,000 people, I think.
That's a pretty good crowd, though.
I got to say, though, I mean, when you talk about great big shows like that, I don't think it hits the same. It's not as intimate anymore and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I love to play fucking Stadium Rock all day.
Yeah.
Right? But we're not really that type of band. I would love to I would love to sell out the Opera House. That's an 800 capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if I can do that, I'm a fucking very, very happy individual.
Yeah. Opera House is an awesome place to go too, man. Like,
absolutely. I had a chance to play there in about I think it was 2009 was the last time I played the Opera House.
Yeah, eh? Who'd you play with back then? I get figure. Do you even remember?
You know what? It's funny enough you say that. I do remember one band name.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's all you got to remember, man.
Yeah, they were called Bayfield, and they fucking, I don't know if they're still around, but they hit. They hit hard.
Eh? They were good, eh? Yeah. I love that. I've gone to shows where, like, I can't even tell you the fucking headliner, man, but I know Raven Black opened the show, and I fucking been a huge fan. I can't even remember. I think Wednesday 13 also played, but I don't know who else played, man. Those two bands just crushed the night for me. You know, I could have went home after that and been happy, right? But
yeah,
they're on the show soon. Raven Black keep rescheduling. They just announced a huge tour date. So once their tour is done, I'll post that after the show, and then yeah, so that'll be sick, right? We got some new guests coming on too. I'm going on vacation soon too, brother. You've been out east or out west? Sorry, you've been out BC and shit. No?
Yeah, my wife's from Alberta, right?
So, oh yeah, okay.
She's got family in Red Deer and Edmonton and Calgary, and even some family in Victoria and Kelowna. So, so we got a trip planned for I think July. I'm pretty sure it's July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that'll be a good time to go out, man. Nice weather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it should be all right for me. I'm out there in April for the week, heading out there for Easter, right?
It'll be fucking. I heard it was like plus 12 or something out there.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'll probably get sunburnt my first day out there.
Get it in you.
Yeah, right? Oh, I'll be red all year, man. It's gonna be one of those years, I think. But we got a big season coming up this year.
Oh yeah, Wayne was just got.
Oh, cut himself out. Where'd he go? Did he jump right up?
So.
Nope, there you are. Oh, your internet dropped for a sec. There you go. Perfect.
Oh.
It's back, baby. There you go. You're back.
Oh, I lost your... Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fuck, how do I get you back here?
Oh.
Just one sec.
Let me see. Check.
Fuck, I lost your sound.
Oh, you can't hear me at all?
Just give it a second here because my wife just called, so that might have been what it was.
Oh, yeah. How about now? Yeah? Check. Says it's working. Turn your volume down, did you?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you, no problem. Yeah. You lost me, though, eh? Always something, right? There you go. How's that? Check, check. All right, let me try one thing here. Where'd Devin go? I guess he. Oh, there he is.
I can hear
There
you
we
now.
go. All right, there you go. I just reset it on my end.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know. My wife called me and
Yeah. You still hear me, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to. I got to turn it down here, or else through the recording, this mic is so good at fucking just. I'm like 20 times louder. Yeah, yeah, all right. So this is kind of a game changer though when you go on tour now, eh?
Oh yeah.
That's sick, man. I can't wait to finish it up. A couple more weeks, man. Once it's warm enough, we can lay underneath, do the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, working for the family and shit. Like you go to play these clubs and they give you like a fucking dirty room under the stage or something to sleep in. It's like, nah, I'll put some money into a fucking bus.
Yeah, right. Well, look at the money it does save though on the hotels. You can cook on the bus. You know what I mean? You're not eating fucking fast food all the time, right? Because nothing worse, man, than like hotels when you're on tour. That's all you see. You know what I mean? When you are on that strict schedule where you're playing a different show every other day, constantly on the road, it's nothing but hotels and stages. That
And I'll
bus
take
kind of.
that.
Oh, I like it too. I've been bred for it my whole life, man. You know, been training. You know, so
I'll take the hotels. It's a lot of the times you don't get hotels.
Yeah,
included.
yeah.
They're just like, well, come and play, and we'll give you $350.
Yeah, which doesn't even, depending on where you are, does barely covers your hotel for everybody and shit.
It doesn't cover your fuel most times.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's so true, right?
So it is what it is, though. I mean, there's a lot of musicians out there that don't get to 300, right? They're just like, well, come and play, and if you don't want to play, someone else will play.
Yeah, yeah. I always try to offer food and shit, try to buy your meal for that day, or if it's the festival, we feed you for the whole weekend in that sense, right? Yeah. You get lunch, dinner, and then breakfast. You do get some cash in your pocket, free place to stay. Usually, depending on the bands, we're working on getting more trailers and more accommodations set up there. But this year, you guys should come down for the July show, though, man. Come down, check it out. Games all weekend.
Next time you're back up in Sudbury, we'll get my daytimer out and we'll plan some dates and I'll read them out and hopefully the bus will be ready and we'll head down there.
Oh, that'd be sick. Roll in. That'd be awesome, brother. But anything else we should cover tonight, man?
Hey, man, I'm just happy that you took the time to have me on.
Brother.
And, I know that you do your thing and you're dedicated to it, and that's what what matters, man. I know you're helping a lot of bands out.
Try to, right? And then we've had you on the radio a couple times now on the playlist there a few times, right?
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask
underground
you this.
radio, but yeah,
go ahead. Let me ask you this, Tej.
Yeah.
What's in it for you when you help all these bands out?
Really nothing. Right up until Everfelt invited me down to like cover the festival with them in the motorhome and get to go behind the stage and cover it and all that. It's really just been, other than meeting Dave and them out of Dead Man's Prophecy, meeting Last Dance Amongst Wolves, and partying and being allowed to come to their house and party and shit, I get nothing but. Right? I just love it. Like, music has helped me so much. It's the least I could do to give back to, some of the artists and get some of the music out there as well, right? So, but
hopefully that changes, man. Hopefully that changes. I'm sure it will too, man, because it will. You'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried. Like you said, I invest a lot of money into the Boneyard, especially over the last few years. A lot of my extra money goes into this, doing shit and buying merch out of the bands, and try to do that. We've got quite the collection. I got quite the pile at the Hollywoods. I've got to go there, I guess, this weekend and do a grand opening of all the new shit we got and all that. And then I love
so
getting
you're
the
not in
merch.
Oshawa now? You're in Angus now.
Yeah. I'm down in Angus for the night, and then I think I'm in Oshawa tomorrow. Then I'm back here to go to Wasaga to the studio. Got some more recording to do with Andrew and Nick there. And
Did you end up making your way down to Niagara or no?
No, it's scheduled for tomorrow, but I don't think I can afford the gas to go down just for the meeting. And BG's back to work, so we're trying to work out our radio schedule. And but he's not around, so like I can't drive all the way there just for a 2-hour meeting and drive 5 hours of my day and $200. I don't know. We'll see.
I know meetings like kind of like the Zoom meetings and shit are weak, but they still prove.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna see, because it's looking at a new studio space there in Niagara, right? To have the radio side set, have the recording studio on the other side. Apparently the building's big enough, but I want to personally like see it somehow, whether it's through photos or the ad or something, right?
Hey man, what about reaching out to Toddy boy, to go take a look and take some pictures for you?
Oh, bud, yeah, and he knows Christine. Huge shout out to her. She was the first radio station that kind of said you guys should have a show at Liquid Fire Radio,
for
right?
Sure. So, Christy Hales is.
Yeah, bud.
She
huge
rocks,
shout out to her, right?
Oh yeah,
she's another behind the scenes person that no one ever gives,
100%.
Thanks to and shit, that does a lot for a lot of people, right? And huge shout out to Sam Bones. She's another one. Doug, Dangerous Doug. All the guys that I work with and over the years, right? Stone Daisies out of South Africa there, right? Another big shout out to them. They do the same thing, try to help promote their local bands, and then for nothing. It's nice though. Like pretty soon I'll probably be able to go to quite a few shows for free in that sense, and I'd be happy. I'm happy with just that, if that's all.
And you want to do the coverage of the show, like
I want to kind of come in as the media and cover these shows or festivals, work my way up to the bigger ones and prove my worth and shit. Just like
Well,
but also it's nice to know some of the bands on the bill to get you in too, right?
you got to shout out my boy Joe Matthews at Voodoo Rock Fest. They're starting to release the dates, the bands. We haven't been chosen this year to play, but Joe will probably. I'm sure he'd have you as a media coverage.
That would be cool, man. Yeah, throw us in touch, and then that way I can work something out with him and stuff, right? And,
yeah, man. Because like he's trying to do the exact same. It's like we're all in the same fucking boat.
Yeah. Which is great about our community. Everyone seems to be very willing to help in that sense. Like there are a lot of people. It's so many people behind the scenes. Like you said, there's a huge team of people that our community has access to in that sense.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think when they see a band on stage, they don't think about the fucking 100 people that worked their asses off to make sure that went down.
Yeah, right. And all the negotiations and last minute changes and
everything.
So yeah. Like even doing the pub crawl with AP Records coming up here in August, right before the festival out in Thornhill, I think it is. I'll have to double check. But yeah, man, that was a lot to arrange. We had to go to have meetings with the bars, make sure everything's cool, right? And then you got to make sure your bands are cool at playing these times because it's an all-day event, 3 different bars, 10 bands, right? Like
lots going on.
Yeah, man. Plus the festivals, we host those too, and then already started planning next year's and the lineup I got to reach out to, and then we have the main show. I got to start getting in touch with those guys. That's coming up in October. Right, make sure we're still allowed to come back, bring more bands. I'm sure we are, but I'll get them on the show here too. Big shout out to Thy Kingdom of Nightmares and Thy Enemy. I always mix the fucking names into one.
It was meant to be, baby. So, 2 bands.
They were the first bands to like bring me down and over to party with after I met Dave and them. I was shortly after I met Gary and them over there, and they were like, "Come on down for October," and then I was like, "Well, can I bring a band?" Right? Ended up bringing Dead Man's Prophecy, close the night out, right? So we're gonna hook up with 2 or 3 bands and bring them with us this time around, and
Right
that was a
on, man.
great time, man. Yeah, I hurt
So,
myself.
so how many shows and festivals? Let's say how many events are you taking part of this in 2023?
I'll be
Roughly.
five official events, and then a couple behind the scenes on some other smaller shit, just getting people organized and doing like another friend of mine asked me about a Halloween show if I could get a couple bands for them, and it's like, well, I host this one, so I can't be there, but I can hook you up with these bands. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's
it's
tough when you
quite
can't
the
be on the ground.
yeah.
I come across that a lot where promoters won't be on the ground
Mm-hmm.
because of whatever. I'm not holding it against anybody. I'm just saying you come across that a lot because you're stretched.
Yeah. There's not too many of us setting up shows and stuff. There's a very small group. It's very hard to get in with those groups that have access to these places. So, but we're slowly breaking those doors in. And then, like I said, hopefully this year, if we can buy that land, bud, then we've got a festival for you, man. Right? We'll start with a 2-day festival and work our way from there, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3 to 4 days, like in this master, like probably 50 bands in a couple years. You know what I mean? We'll see. Dreaming big, right?
Hey
Then,
man, if you don't dream it, you can't do it. That's for sure.
yeah, that's true,
Starts
right?
there.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of goal or end game kind of plan. You can't just be
And a lot
right.
of people just give up, right? And that's the thing. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't understand that it takes fucking 20 years to accomplish some of this shit.
Yeah, like you said, 10,000 hours alone. Most people don't even do that. They've been at their job for 5 years and haven't done 5,000 or 10,000 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it
That's right,
definitely
man.
takes a drive and a certain kind of person. I think it almost goes back to your roots as a nomads and wanderers because as a band, you're constantly trying to wander the world and play your music. It just comes naturally in that sense, right? You don't see homebodies, people that don't want to go and
Well,
travel, not in
people,
music.
yeah, people in the industry are a special breed, man. Is because we get told no, 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 so fucking often,
Yeah.
and very rarely you get yes, maybe, and it's like, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like that little slice of hope, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when you do get those yeses and shit, that's such a it's just gratifying that you finally got something, like, but nothing that good should come easy. You know what I mean?
It
So
never
the end
does, man.
result of what it is to get money, buy a mansion, live a rock star's life in that sense does not come easy, man.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was watching that documentary the other day, and I'm watching these fucking these '80s bands, right? Like the '80s bands, like I'm talking about like Iron Maiden and
Yeah,
fucking like these big '80s bands, like Motley Crue, let's say, dude. Bands will never be that big again. I don't think like rock. Like, dude,
yeah,
those guys were gods.
yeah, yeah. It's true though. Like we don't really have that anymore. We always still go back to when you're like, oh, it's always goes back to Slayer or Pantera or Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or in that, yeah, like Def Leppard, Aerosmith, 100,000 people in a stadium. You know what I mean? Like that's insane.
Fuck those shows, though.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of those shows, man.
No, you've always preached that ever since I met you, man, and
I don't like big
you always
shows like
prefer
that.
that personal, 100 people in the bar.
Yeah, man,
Fucking
those shows are so much better, man. Because, like, I say anything under like 5,000, anything under 5,000, man. You're sitting there watching a band in a nice theater hall. It's like an
yeah,
intimate fucking like you're getting that show with that group of people, and that's it. You're not
Yeah.
sitting there waiting 2 hours for a fucking beer. Or you got to worry about walking 2 kilometers to take a piss.
Yeah, man. I know the feeling, but I remember fighting for water at Woodstock, like literally pushing people out of my way. So I had like 6 jugs because it was our campground, the girls that camped beside us, and my buddy Judd and his buddies. And I grew the shortest straw, so I took all the jugs. I got tired of waiting, man. Just started throwing people out of my way, right? I'm so thirsty, man. Fucking walk a half-mile back with 80 pounds of water. Fucking, like brutal, man.
It's only Friday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, how am I gonna make it to Sunday, right? But
okay,
like you said,
so
I'm in the same boat though. Like, as much as I would love to have a 500,000 people at my festival, no way am I gonna be responsible for 500,000 fucking people, man. That's not happening, brother.
I threw a couple festivals here at the old man's place, okay? And there was like I think our biggest festival, we got like just over 150 or 200 people. Dude, what a fucking shit show.
Right?
I fell asleep. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm going to bed, man. Like, like an hour before sunrise. Like,
my old man's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is your festival?" I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, man. I just played a set. I'm not in charge of the people. That's the other people's jobs. We're security. Get to the fucking Derek and them on it, right?
It's funny because you want to do festivals and stuff like that, but to me,
I do,
like
brother.
My greatest fear, bro.
Yeah.
Is trying to herd kittens, a bunch of drunk kittens, man.
Yeah. That's true, right?
Oh, bro, fuck. But I do love like the intimate crowd band. I paid $50 to be here. Any band that's charging over fucking $50 is fucking terrible, man.
I hear that. Like, now what? It cost me fucking $300 to go see Disturbed or Megadeth. You know what I mean? I haven't checked the Megadeth tickets yet, but I can't say they're $300. But yeah, man, like that's fucking brutal, man. I remember watching.
That's before your $20 fucking beer, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're only, and it's piss warm, man. It's not even like it's cold beer and shit.
It's music. It's what the fucking world resonates to, man. It's like that ticket should be $35 to $50, maybe $100.
Yeah, if you have a great lineup, right? Depending on your lineup and stuff, man, I would go pay $100 to see a couple bands, depending on who they are, for sure. Especially nowadays with my $100, because I gotta drive there still, pay for parking, buy merch, like you said, $20 fucking beers. Like, that's where I need a beer sponsor, right? But I think they make it so expensive so you don't get as many drunks and shit, though, probably, right? Like, at $20 a beer, man, But
that mentality, though, like, if I'm paying, I went to U2 one time at the Sky Dome. Yeah. And I gotta say it was a great show. Like I'm not even a U2 fan. Okay.
No, I'm with you on that, but
when I went there, I was like, fuck, this is amazing. Okay. But $400, that just enticed me to spend more money, man. I was like, you know what? I'm here. I paid $400 for this fucking ticket. I'm getting wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Sneaking in Mickey's and shit. Fucking.
There's this one guy in line. He had a fucking 26er, okay, in a Ziploc bag, a freezer Ziploc. And my whole time, I'm like, you might be able to get by security, bro, but how are you drinking that?
Yeah, right. Like, you gotta buy a giant soda, I guess. Drink some of it. Pour it all into your soda, right? Yeah. Right.
I remember smoking a joint. I remember smoking a hash joint with my Uncle John at the U2 concert, and this fucking couple behind us is like trying to find security to point us out because we're smoking a joint. I'm like, yo, fuck you. I spent $400.
Yeah, nowadays you still can't smoke weed even though it's legal because it's indoor. You can't smoke inside. Like fuck, fuck that. Like you said, I paid $400, man. I am smoking. I am drinking. Like this is my night out, bud. This is like a whole week's paycheck for me to go to this fucking show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I might even take my shirt off. Who knows?
yeah. All right. I've been known to do that once in a while.
It's crazy, man, the concert
Mm,
experiences. But you know what? They're all these building blocks that make us
yeah.
who we are and
Well,
why we love what we do so much. Is because when you hear that
really,
band come on and the lights go down
yeah.
and
Everybody, like
fucking
you said, resonating to that same vibe, that same energy that music brings to people, man, regardless where you are in the world, right? Like, it's probably the reason why we exist, you know, fucking with music, right? Like,
it's true, man.
yeah,
You get everybody together. You get a like. I don't like ever like Scotiabank isn't so bad because I don't know. It's like 18, 20,000 people, but there's still room to do what you want to do and go get beers
yeah,
and stuff you want. But I watched ACDC one time at Downsview Park. I'm like, fucking cool. ACDC's cool. Like I like
yeah.
ACDC, but I don't like standing in line for a beer the whole concert either.
No, no, man. I remember we did that. We wanted to see it was Seven Dust, my buddy Freddie at the time, and we were standing there waiting to get fucking beer. We heard them come out. We heard the first couple notes. It's like we fucked the beer, man. You know, we just ran back down to the pit, right? Like, yeah, we stood in line for so long between set changes that the other band came on, and we barely moved in the lineup, man. It's like, yeah, forget it. We'll just go buy some acid later, you know? Right?
Decisions.
Right? Toss of the coin.
Right? Yeah,
Well,
man.
man.
Well, fuck. Thanks for having me on, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I obviously like appreciate what you do, man. What you do for the industry. You know,
yeah. I
like I know
try,
you're
man.
helping
You know.
bands out and stuff like that, man.
Hmm.
I appreciate it, man, big time.
Yeah. Well, when it like I said, when it pays off for me, it'll pay off for everybody in that sense. You know. Guess what? Come to my stage. Come on. You know, I got a stage here, stage there. Multiple stages to do tours for people would be pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Very hard to do though.
Oh
All
yeah,
right. Got to
lots of
buy
work
land
involved,
in
man.
multiple states. You know.
Always
Have a
so much work involved, man.
Yeah, it's unreal how many hours and how much time it truly like if I was to add up all the time and shit, fuck man, probably over $1 million. You know what I mean? Like if you had paid yourself a wage for all the time you fucking put into it,
I'm
we'd all be
rich.
rich. We'd all be rich, brother. All right.
Right?
But no, I'm glad it's fucking taking the grind. I'm just having coke, still not drinking, man. Doing fucking great.
Oh no way.
Yeah, man, doing great. Not until April 6th, sorry. I'll get to have a drink and some wings with a good friend of mine. So that's
Nice.
going to be exciting. Yeah. Yeah, she just had surgery, so she can't drink at the moment. She's still healing and shit. So I was like, wow. Did the first 2 months of not drinking this year. So I was like, fuck, why not keep it going for a bit? I'll still have the odd beer and stuff, but I don't think I'll ever fall back down that hole again, though, man. You know, I'm very wary that it's there, and it's very easy for me to fall down that hole. So I've got to make sure this year I fucking really grip down and cut down on my drinking, 100%, man.
Hey man. Stay
Health,
thirsty.
yeah, yeah. I'll put my passion somewhere else. I'm
Right?
still gonna do the beer tasting stuff though, with the IP stuff. We got one coming with the new cooking show coming out here real soon. So we added it in like a commercial where all three of us are in Niagara trying this new beer. Fuck, wait till it's like all the other reactions, man. It's terrible beer, man. But you'll see. You'll check it out there.
I'll check it
Fuck.
out for sure.
Yeah. Well, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on, brother. And glad I got to play the new little intro. I'm gonna make up a couple more so I can mix it up every time we got someone on. And then what's today? Wednesday. We got Sapphire Rain coming on Friday. She's playing for us here in August. We're flying her, or for July, we're flying her in for that one. So that's another thing. We're paying her expense to come here. It's our stage, right?
Nice.
Covering her babysitter, covering her food, weekend for her, And it's still cheaper than last year with all the new bands this year and then all that. So, fuck, we did pretty good this year, man.
Right on, brother.
So, yeah, we got Sapphire, Rain playing. Andrew Joseph's on the stage for this one. We got One in the Chamber, Late Night Trouble, and Johnny No Cash is flying in from BC for us. So
nice, man.
That's
a
gonna be
good lineup
awesome,
right
man.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys are invited down. I know it's sold out real fast. It sold out before we could even sell tickets, bud. So I know we saved a spot for you and the old lady in the bus if you guys want to come down, man. Maybe bring Mikey. I don't know. I know he's got the baby, so they probably won't be able to make it.
You're gonna have to hire a couple more security guards. So I'm gonna bring Mikey down.
Yeah, you're probably true, man. Yeah, if the wife's not with him, he's not allowed to come, man. That guy's an animal.
I'm pretty sure we could put a tether on that fucking bus there, like a 5-point.
Right? Have a little shock gate, so if he goes too far away. But yeah, next time I'm up in Sudbury, man, we'll do a quick little thing while we're on the bus. Next time we're working on it. I'll add it up to the story. I got all the photos. I'll send all the ones for mine to you, and you can make up a huge collage and shit for us. Then we'll fucking edit it up. Yeah, man. Right on, brother. So once again, Devin, awesome time, man. Fortunate losers. You guys have merch and shit we can buy? I almost forgot to ask you.
Oh, fuck yeah. FortunateLosers.com, baby.
I think I have your sweater on. No, it's in the. Oh, it's right here, buddy. I had it on yesterday.
Halloween tanks.
Yeah, man.
Hoodies.
I went with the orange one.
No,
well, you know me in orange, baby. Safety first.
Safety first, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, Fortune Losers. Where do we find your music? You guys are fucking everywhere. But
yeah, FortuneLosers.com, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. I guess I think that's the thing.
Yeah. I guess right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll get you to send over the links after the show here, brother, and then I'll post them up top like always. And then yeah, we got Sapphire Rain for sure on Friday, and then the following week I'm taking a holiday when I fly out, but we have a very special guest coming in on the 5th. I'm in the middle of making a promo video for that, so once I release that, you guys will know who she is. And I already revealed too much, but either way, man, fuck, I'll get in touch with you probably next couple days and see what's happening work-wise and shit, man, and we'll work that out. And then from there, you guys are playing for us in August, and check these guys out, man. Fortunate Losers. Play it loud, play it proud, baby.
Thanks, Cheech.
Yeah, anytime, brother.